I want to share something with you today that's been heavy on my heart. Not because I want to scare you, but because I've seen too many good folks make the same mistake after they cross that 70-year mark. They mean well. We all do. We've been told all our lives that walking is good for us, that we should stay active, that moving is living. But here's the part no one tells you. After 70, walking too much can actually do more harm than good. Sounds strange, I know, but bear with me. This isn't about giving up or slowing down completely. It's about walking wisely. It's about knowing what your body truly needs once you hit those golden years. And trust me, I've learned this the hard way. I used to be the kind of man who walked every day like clockwork. Rain or shine, I'd hit the sidewalk or the trail and get in my 10,000 steps. Felt like I was doing the right thing, like I was winning some invisible battle against aging. But then something started to change. My knees ached more. My back was always stiff. I started losing weight in a way that didn't feel right. My sleep was off. My energy dipped. And worst of all, I felt like I was aging faster than before. That's when I finally listened to my doctor, an old friend, wise as they come. He looked me in the eye and said, "You're walking too much for your age. It's draining you instead of helping you." That hit me like a brick. At first, I didn't believe him. How could something that's always been good suddenly be bad? But the more we talked, the more it made sense. You see, once you pass 70, your body isn't the same machine it used to be. Your muscles recover slower. Your joints are more fragile. Your bones thin out. Your heart and lungs need a different kind of care. Long walks, especially those over an hour, put a constant strain on these parts. It's like running an engine that's low on oil. Sure, it still runs, but it wears down faster, and that wear adds up. It leads to inflammation. It eats away at your muscle mass. It stresses your heart. It messes with your sleep. And little by little, it steals your vitality. Now, I'm not saying stop walking altogether. Movement is still essential, but walking shouldn't be your main focus after 70. You need to be smarter. You need to shift your energy into what truly keeps you strong and youthful in these later years. There are 5 things I've come to learn that make all the difference, and I wish someone had told me this earlier. The first thing you need to focus on is strength, not the kind that comes from lifting heavy weights like a young bodybuilder. I'm talking about simple strength training that protects your muscles and bones. Every year after 50, you naturally lose muscle mass. By 70, that loss can be dangerous. It leads to weakness, to falls, to longer recovery times. The answer is light resistance work, bodyweight squats, chair stands, light dumbbells, resistance bands, just 2 or 3 times a week. That alone can help you keep the strength to live independently, to get up without help, to carry groceries, to hug your grandkids tightly. That kind of strength matters more than steps on a pedometer. The second thing is balance. When you're younger, you don't even think about it. But after 70, your balance becomes the thing that keeps you out of the hospital. One fall can change your life. Break a hip and it's never the same again. That's why you've got to train your balance. Simple exercises like standing on one leg, heel to toe walking across the room, gentle yoga or tai chi. These things might seem small, but they protect you from the big stuff. And they don't exhaust your body the way long walks can. The third thing you need is rest. And I don't just mean sleeping at night. I mean giving your body space to recover. After 70, recovery becomes more important than effort. Your cells regenerate slower. Your immune system works harder. And if you push too much, even with walking, your body doesn't have the fuel to bounce back. Rest isn't laziness, it's healing. Take naps. Sit in the sun. Listen to music. Let your heart slow down. Let your breath come easy. That's where real youth comes from being at peace in your own body. Fourth, you need good fuel. I know we all get stuck in our ways, especially when it comes to food. But the truth is, you can't eat like you did at 40 or 50 and expect the same results. After 70, your body needs fewer calories but more nutrients. That means more protein to protect your muscles, more healthy fats to support your brain, more vegetables for your gut, less sugar, less junk, and plenty of water. You don't have to become a nutritionist. Just eat like someone who wants to live another good decade. Your food can either speed up aging or slow it down. The choice is yours every meal. And finally, the fifth thing, connection. This might be the most important of them all. You see, walking may get your blood flowing, but it doesn't feed your soul. After 70, what you really need is meaning. People, laughter, hugs, conversations, purpose. Isolation is one of the fastest paths to decline. It breaks the spirit, makes the brain foggy, slows the body down. That's why I started spending more time with my friends, volunteering at the local community hall, playing cards, telling stories, singing old songs. Those moments are worth more than any step count. They keep me alive in the truest sense. So now when I do walk, it's not out of habit or guilt. I walk when I want to breathe fresh air, when the sun feels warm on my skin, when I feel like moving with joy. I no longer chase 10,000 steps. I might do 2,000, maybe 3,000. Slow, peaceful, easy. I listen to my body. If I'm tired, I rest. If I'm strong, I lift. If I'm bored, I call someone. If I'm sad, I go sit by the trees. And you know what? I feel younger now than I did 5 years ago. This isn't about giving up. It's about getting smarter, about protecting what really matters. You don't need to walk yourself into the ground to stay healthy. You need to be strong, balanced, rested, nourished, loved. That's the real secret. And it's not too late. I don't care if you're 70 or 80 or even 90. You can start today. You can choose a better way. So if you've been pushing yourself to walk miles every day because you think that's what's keeping you alive, I urge you to pause. Think about what your body's telling you. Are you feeling more tired than energized? Are your joints aching more than before? Is your sleep restless? Is your mood off? These are not just signs of aging. They're signs of imbalance, of effort in the wrong direction. And you can change that. Start small, add a little strength work, practice standing on one leg while brushing your teeth. Swap the cookie for a handful of almonds. Call a friend just to hear their voice. Take a nap without guilt. Sit in silence and breathe deep. These things don't cost you a thing, but they pay you back in years of quality life. I'm not here to lecture you. I'm just an old man who's made his share of mistakes. But I've also found some truths that I know can help. I've watched friends grow older with grace, and I've watched others fade too fast. The difference was never in how many miles they walked. It was always in how they lived. So don't let fear of aging drive you into habits that actually speed it up. Instead, choose wisely, choose joyfully, choose to live in a way that honors this precious stage of life. Because after 70, every day is a gift, and you deserve to feel strong, steady, and alive in every one of them. You really do. Now let's clear some common questions. What are the psychological and emotional benefits of focusing on connection, community, and purpose instead of high physical activity? Let me tell you something, my friend. I have lived a long life, long enough to have tried just about every path a man can walk to find meaning, peace, and joy. In my youth, I chased strength like it was the Holy Grail. I ran miles every morning, lifted weights like I had something to prove, and counted every calorie with the precision of a surgeon. I believed that pushing my body to its limits was the only way to feel alive. And sure, there's something thrilling in that. There's a fire in youth that makes you want to conquer. But with the passage of time, I came to learn that the human heart craves something far deeper than muscle or endurance. What it truly longs for is connection, community, purpose. And when you begin to live for these things, you discover a richness of life that no number of push-ups or marathons can give. Let me explain it the way an old soul sees it. When you center your life around connection, you begin to feel seen. Not for what you can do or how fast you can run, but for who you are. When you sit across from someone and really look into their eyes. When you listen not just with your ears, but with your full attention. Something softens in the heart. The walls that the world has built up around you begin to crumble. And that, my friend, is healing. That is freedom. We live in an age where busyness is a badge of honor and productivity is praised above presence. But I say to you, stop, breathe, sit with someone you love, laugh, cry, share a meal. There is a kind of nourishment in human connection that no diet or fitness regimen can offer. Community is a balm to the soul. In my later years, I joined a group of old-timers like myself who gather every week to talk, share stories, and check in on each other. There's a gentleness to those gatherings that I never knew I needed. One of us might have lost a spouse, another may be struggling with illness, but we show up, we listen, we offer comfort, and in doing so, we remind each other that we are not alone. That right there is one of the greatest emotional benefits of community. It gives you a sense of belonging, a feeling that your presence matters, that someone would notice if you didn't show up. That's no small thing, especially in a world where loneliness runs rampant. And let us talk about purpose. Now, purpose is a strange creature. It doesn't always come dressed in grandeur or glory. Sometimes purpose is simply tending a garden, calling your grandchild, offering a stranger a kind word. When you wake up with the intention of contributing something meaningful to the world, no matter how small, your heart beats differently. You walk lighter, you speak kinder, you no longer feel like a passenger in life, but a participant. I have seen people break down physically, but remain strong in spirit because they had purpose. And I have seen people in perfect physical health fall into despair because they lacked it. You tell me which is more important. I remember once meeting a man, not much younger than me, who had spent decades working on his body. He was proud of his strength, but he confessed in a quiet moment that he often felt empty, alone. He didn't know who to call when he was in pain. He had no one to celebrate with when good news came. He said, "I can lift 100 pounds, but I can't lift the weight off my chest." That hit me hard because it reminded me of what truly sustains us. It's not just the body, it's the bonds we form, the lives we touch, the meaning we find in the ordinary. Focusing on connection, community, and purpose brings psychological benefits that ripple through every part of your being. It reduces anxiety because you're no longer measuring your worth by achievements or appearances. It eases depression because you feel supported. It increases resilience because you're not facing life alone. And it fills you with gratitude because you begin to notice the beauty in everyday moments. I have found more joy sitting on a porch with a friend than I ever did running 10 miles in the rain. And that joy doesn't wear out or fade, it settles in your bones. It becomes part of who you are. When you live with purpose, your mind becomes clear. Your emotions find balance. You begin to feel whole, not because everything is perfect, but because you are living in alignment with what truly matters. And let me tell you, that kind of peace can't be bought or forced. It grows slowly, tenderly, through years of giving, loving, belonging. Now, don't get me wrong, physical activity is good. It keeps the blood moving and the joints loose. But it should be a complement to a meaningful life, not the center of it. When you let connection guide you, when you build community and live with purpose, your spirit thrives. And when the spirit thrives, the body follows, even in old age, even in illness. I've seen it, I've lived it. So if you're standing at the crossroads trying to decide how to live a fuller life, I say to you this: choose connection, call that old friend, join that group you've been nervous to try. Ask the hard questions, give your time, love generously, find something that gives you purpose. It doesn't have to be big, just real, just honest, just yours. Because in the end, when the muscles weaken and the steps slow down, it's not the trophies or the records that you'll hold close. It's the hands you've held, the hearts you've touched, the memories you've made sitting in the quiet glow of real human presence. That's where the true strength lies. That's what carries you home. Now, I may be old, but I still believe in living fully. And I'll tell you this one last thing. If you spend your days chasing connection, building community, and living with purpose, you'll never run out of energy. Because the heart, when filled with love, beats stronger than any muscle ever could. How can someone transition from a high step count mindset to a more balanced lifestyle without feeling guilty or afraid of becoming sedentary? Ah, yes. That familiar weight in the chest, that anxious itch in the legs, the uneasy feeling that creeps in when you think about slowing down. I know it well. I lived with it for years. I had my watch counting every step, every flight of stairs, every heartbeat. And for a time, it gave me a sense of control, a sense of accomplishment. I thought if I could just keep moving, keep hitting that magic number, 10,000 steps, 15,000, 20, then I was doing it right. I was winning. But life, as it tends to do, taught me otherwise. It taught me that balance is not the same as giving up, and stepping less does not mean you are stepping wrong. Let me take you back a bit. I remember one day I was out walking, it was winter, the cold had settled into my bones like it had signed a lease. I was tired. My knees were singing their old aching tune, but I pushed on. I told myself I needed to hit my number. I couldn't fall short. That day I slipped on a patch of ice, landed hard. Nothing broke, but something inside me shifted. Not my bones, my mind. I sat there on the ground, looking up at the gray sky, and I asked myself, what am I chasing? That's the moment I began to understand what so many never learn. You don't need to be constantly in motion to live a meaningful life. Now, I'm not telling you to toss your walking shoes and park yourself on the couch. Movement is good. The body was made for it. But when movement becomes an obsession, when it becomes a measure of your worth or a fear of stillness, it loses its joy. The first step, no pun intended, to shifting from a high step count mindset to a balanced life is giving yourself permission to rest without guilt. And that, my friend, is not easy. We've been fed a steady diet of productivity and progress since we were children. We've been told that more is always better. But I'll tell you now, more is not always better. Sometimes more is just more, and it can weigh you down. The way I see it, this transition starts not with your feet, but with your mind. You have to ask yourself, why am I walking so much? Is it for health? That's good. Is it to clear your mind? Beautiful. But if it's to prove something, to fight off shame, to beat back fear of being lazy, then there's work to be done. You need to build a new relationship with movement. One built on kindness, not punishment, on listening, not demanding. Some days your body will crave long walks under the sun. Other days it will ask for stillness, for breath, for quiet. Honor both. It helped me to shift my focus from steps to presence. I started walking without tracking. I left the watch at home. At first I felt naked, exposed, like I was wasting time. But then I noticed the trees, the birds, the way the sunlight spilled across the path, things I hadn't truly seen in years. When I stopped measuring every moment, I started experiencing them. That brought me more peace than any number ever had. That peace helped me stop being afraid of rest. Another thing that helped me was redefining what it meant to be active. Movement isn't just walking or jogging, it's gardening, playing with your grandchild, dancing in the kitchen, stretching in the morning light. When you broaden your definition of movement, you stop fearing the days when your feet don't carry you far. You start appreciating the subtle ways your body still shows up for life. And believe me, that quiet appreciation is powerful. It's a form of respect. Respect for the body you've been given, respect for the years it has carried you. Guilt is a stubborn beast. It will whisper that you are lazy, that you're slipping, that without those steps, you'll fade. But you must answer those whispers with truth. Tell yourself, I am more than a number on a screen. I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to choose. Fear will come, yes. It always does when we let go of control. But courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you move forward anyway, trusting that you are making space for something better. I found that talking to others helped. I spoke with friends, neighbors, folks in my age group who had also been chasing steps like hounds after a fox. We shared our stories. We laughed at ourselves. We reminded one another that life isn't a race. It's a rhythm. Some days fast, some slow. When you're surrounded by people who value presence over performance, the pressure eases. You start to see that it's okay to slow down. That slowing down is not the same as giving up. It's just tuning in. I also leaned into purpose. Instead of waking up asking how many steps I needed, I asked, what can I give today? Who can I connect with? What beauty can I find? Those questions shifted my energy. Instead of moving out of fear, I began to move with intention. And some days the answer was to stay home, to write, to listen to music, to call an old friend. And on those days, my spirit felt more alive than when I'd walked 20,000 steps with no direction except fear. The body is not a machine to be optimized. It is a vessel for living. It needs care. It needs love. And sometimes love looks like rest, like saying no to the pressure and yes to what feels good. Over time, the guilt fades. The fear lessens. You begin to trust yourself again. You begin to believe that you're not slipping into laziness, but rising into balance. So I say to you, if you are trying to make the shift, be gentle. Let go slowly. Celebrate the days you move freely and honor the days you move inward. Balance is not found in a graph or a goal. It is found in listening, in choosing what serves you rather than what scares you. It's not easy, but it's worth it. I've walked many paths in this life, and now I walk fewer steps, but take in more beauty. I spend more time in stillness and feel more connected than ever. I have traded the pursuit of numbers for the pursuit of meaning, and I can tell you this. When you make that trade, you gain something precious. Peace, wholeness, joy not rooted in achievement, but in simply being alive. So walk when you want, rest when you need. Trust that your worth is not tied to your pace. You are already enough, whether you take 10 steps or 10,000. That, my friend, is the truth I've learned, and I offer it to you with both hands. In the big picture, what does truly healthy aging look like after 70, and how can someone begin living that vision today? Aging. It creeps up slowly, like the sun rising over a still lake. You hardly notice it at first. A few gray hairs, a bit more stiffness in the joints. Then suddenly you wake up one morning and the mirror reflects a face that tells 1,000 stories. If you're lucky enough to see 70, you've earned every line and wrinkle. But let me tell you something I've learned in these later years. Aging doesn't mean fading. It doesn't mean shrinking into the shadows or surrendering your joy. In the big picture, truly healthy aging after 70 looks like living with intention, presence, and heart. It's not about chasing youth. It's about embracing the life you still have with gratitude and grace. Now, don't get me wrong. The body changes. Of course it does. The knees complain more. The back grumbles when you bend. Sleep becomes a little trickier. But healthy aging isn't about denying those changes or pretending they don't matter. It's about adjusting with dignity, listening to the body like an old friend rather than a stubborn child. It's about giving yourself the care you once gave everyone else. That means regular checkups, sure. But more than that, it means checking in with yourself, asking, how do I feel today? What do I need? And honoring the answer without guilt. You see, the healthiest people I know past 70 aren't the ones running marathons or lifting weights twice their size. They're the ones who laugh often, who stay curious, who wake up with something to look forward to, no matter how small. They're the ones who have found a rhythm of life that suits them, not one that tries to mimic youth. They walk, they stretch, they garden, they bake, they volunteer, they stay connected. They know that motion keeps the blood flowing, but meaning keeps the spirit glowing. And let me tell you, a glowing spirit will carry you farther than strong legs alone. One of the most powerful truths I've come to know is that healthy aging is rooted in connection. The people who thrive past 70 are the ones who stay close to others. They don't isolate. They don't let pride or fear keep them from asking for help or reaching out. They belong to communities, even if it's just a book club or a group that meets at the diner every Wednesday. There's medicine in laughter, healing in a shared story. We were never meant to grow old alone. That's something I wish more people understood earlier in life. You want to age well? Then build strong relationships today. Nurture them like you would a garden. Water them with time. Feed them with honesty. Let them grow. Another piece of this puzzle is purpose. Oh, how important purpose is. After 70, many of us are retired. The children are grown. The house is quieter. And if you're not careful, that quiet turns into a kind of emptiness. But it doesn't have to. Purpose doesn't retire. It changes shape. It might be caring for a pet, mentoring a young person, painting, learning something new, writing your stories down for future generations. It doesn't have to be grand. It just has to be real. Purpose gets you out of bed. It fills the heart. It keeps your days rich with color and meaning. Let's not forget the emotional side of things. Healthy aging means tending to the garden of your heart. It means forgiving those you need to forgive, including yourself. It means letting go of the bitterness that weighs you down and making peace with the past. You don't need to carry it all anymore. Not at this age. You're allowed to lay things down, to find comfort in the simple things. A warm cup of tea, a good book, the sound of birds at dawn. Let your heart rest where it can. Emotional health isn't just about avoiding sorrow. It's about cultivating joy. And here's something folks don't talk about enough. Play. Yes, play. Just because you're over 70 doesn't mean you can't play. Laugh until your sides ache. Be silly. Try something new and mess it up completely. Dance in the kitchen even if your hips creak like an old gate. Play keeps the soul young. It keeps the eyes bright. Don't let age steal your sense of wonder. I've had some of the most fun in my 80s doing things I never would have tried when I was younger. Because now, I don't care what anyone thinks. That kind of freedom is priceless. So how can someone begin living that vision of healthy aging today, no matter their age? Start by slowing down. Really, slow down and pay attention. What brings you joy? What drains your energy? What relationships matter most? Begin choosing more of what fills you up and less of what wears you down. Care for your body not because you want to look a certain way, but because it deserves your love. Move gently. Eat foods that nourish you. Rest when you're tired. And speak kindly to yourself. Next, look at how you spend your time. Are you doing things that light you up, or are you just passing the hours? Shift your focus toward the things that give you a sense of purpose. Volunteer, teach, learn, create. Even something small, done with love, can breathe life into your days. And surround yourself with people who lift you up, people who make you feel seen. It's never too late to make a new friend or repair an old bond. Don't wait for 70 to start living with meaning. Start today. Practice gratitude, not in a shallow way, but deeply. Look around you and find 3 things you truly appreciate. Do it every day. Over time, it changes you. It softens your view of the world, makes you more present, and that presence is the heart of healthy aging. Being here, really here, for the life you've been given. The truth is, aging is a gift. Not everyone gets to do it. So wear your years proudly. Let them shine through your stories, your laughter, your wisdom. Healthy aging is not about avoiding death. It's about fully embracing life for as long as you have it. It's about living with love, with courage, with curiosity. It's about making peace with your body and cherishing your soul. So if you want to know what truly healthy aging looks like in the big picture, I'll tell you this. It looks like a person who still finds wonder in the world, who wakes up grateful, who walks through life, even slowly, with purpose and connection and joy. And you can begin building that life right now, no matter your age, no matter your history, because it's never too late to begin living well. Not for a single day, not for a single moment. If you liked today's discussion, don't forget to like the video. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay updated with every video we release. And yes, don't forget to share your experiences and thoughts in the comments. Every comment is special to us. Your feedback helps us improve further. We'll continue to meet you in every new video on this channel. So until next time, take care.